Welcome to Hidden Psyche Secrets, where we explore the mysterious depths of the human mind and the traits that define us. Have you ever wondered why some intelligent people have very few friends, preferring their own company over a crowded social gathering? Society often labels this as loneliness, but psychology reveals it is actually a sign of maturity, intelligence, and deep self-awareness. The first psychological trait is a complete lack of tolerance for superficiality, fake behavior, and the exhausting performance of social masks. These individuals possess a built-in radar for manipulation, instantly detecting when someone is being insincere or trying to use them for gain. They would rather sit alone in a quiet room than participate in a conversation that feels forced, hollow, or completely meaningless. It is not that they are antisocial, but rather that they value truth so highly that they cannot stomach social lies. While others play the game of popularity, the solitary soul observes from a distance, refusing to compromise their integrity for approval. This specific trait filters out hundreds of potential acquaintances, leaving only the very few who are brave enough to be authentic. The second reason involves a deep psychological hunger for substance, preferring one meaningful conversation over 1,000 empty exchanges about the weather. Small talk feels physically draining to them because their minds are constantly seeking patterns, philosophical truths, and complex ideas to explore. They crave connections where they can discuss the universe, human emotions, and the future, rather than the latest celebrity gossip trends. When they cannot find this depth in their immediate environment, they turn to books, art, or science to satisfy their intellect. This selective nature ensures that when they do speak, their words carry weight, intention, and a profound sense of genuine purpose. Finding a partner who matches this intensity is rare, which naturally limits their social circle to a very small, elite group. Thirdly, we must look at the neurology of sensitivity, as these individuals often process sensory input much more deeply than others. Socializing requires a massive amount of energy for them, as they absorb every micro-expression, tone of voice, and hidden emotional current. After a social event, they experience what psychologists call a social hangover, requires absolute silence to reset their overwhelmed nervous system. Solitude is not a punishment for them. It is a necessary sanctuary where they can finally hear their own thoughts clearly. In these moments of isolation, they are not lonely. They are recharging their batteries to face the world with renewed strength. They understand that to be a good friend to others, they must first preserve their own mental health and emotional stability. The fourth point highlights a powerful sense of self-sufficiency, where happiness is generated internally rather than dependent on external validation or praise. Most people rely on likes, compliments, and group acceptance to feel worthy, but the solitary individual finds worth in their achievements. They have cultivated a rich inner world full of hobbies, passions, and projects that keep them endlessly entertained and intellectually stimulated. This independence can be intimidating to others, as it signals that they do not need anyone to complete them or fix them. They choose friends based on genuine desire, not out of a desperate need to fill a void or escape their thoughts. This freedom allows them to walk away from toxic situations immediately, as they are never held hostage by the fear of loneliness. Finally, we observe a high threshold for trust, often built upon the scars of past betrayals or deep emotional wounds from youth. Experience has taught them that not everyone who smiles is a friend, leading them to build a protective wall around their heart. This is not paranoia. It is wisdom gained through pain, ensuring that only the most loyal and proven individuals gain access. They set up psychological tests and boundaries, observing how people react to no before deciding to let them into their inner circle. Once you pass these tests, their loyalty is absolute, unwavering, and lifelong, offering a depth of friendship that is incredibly rare. They would rather have one friend who would take a bullet for them than 50 acquaintances who would only bring them drama. If you recognize these traits in yourself, understand that your small circle is not a weakness, but a curated masterpiece of life. You have chosen quality over quantity, truth over comfort, and deep connection over the fleeting noise of a crowded, superficial world. Embrace your nature, for the solitary path is often the one that leads to the greatest discoveries and the truest peace. Thank you for watching Hidden Psyche Secrets. Subscribe for more insights into the mind, and share this with your deep-thinking friends.